Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe, and if you are returning, I very much appreciate you coming back to check out my content, and I would also encourage you to hit that like and subscribe. If you are new here or need a refresher, my name is Mark. I am an avid physical media collector, and I just recently decided I need to start tapping into this collection that I've had for so long and have been curating for many years. I just really want to get back into physical media and start a channel sort of expressing my love for physical media and concentrating on stuff that I have in my collection, but also stuff that I am adding to the collection. And it's more, the way I collect is less about the sheer amount of owning things and more about stuff that I like. Like, I'm not just buying movies to buy them, although I have in the past, and hence the reason why I decided to start this channel, which we'll get to in a second. But I want to spend more time with these things that I have gone out of my way to bring with me on multiple moves, and that kind of thing. So in today's video, I'm starting a new series called 10 Movies in 10 Days, where in this particular version, I picked 10 movies that I have seen before, usually only once, but have not watched in a very long time, to give my thoughts on how they've aged and what my opinion is now in 2025 as I record this. So it's 10 movies handpicked by me that I have seen, maybe not even necessarily in DVD form or Blu-ray form, but I have seen, and I'm revisiting them in 2025. So every day I'll post a new video on a movie that I've watched and give my quick reviews. It's not going to be an in-depth review. They're going to be short and quick videos, but I do want to sort of highlight 10 movies in 10 days, and then I think I'm going to do other versions where I pick 10 movies in my collection that I've never seen, and I talk about those. So I just want to finding a way with my YouTube channel and my collection to sort of highlight what I have, what I'm watching, what I've watched, and then I get into, I have a lot of movies on regular DVD that I've now decided I want to get upgraded to Blu-ray at the very least if there's something that's available. So the first movie in this series that I'm working on, 10 Movies in 10 Days, is Atomic Blonde, starring Charlize Theron, James McAvoy, and John Goodman is also in this. This is directed by David Leitch, I can never remember how to pronounce his name. I think it's David Leitch. But he has been famous for this, but he also directed Deadpool 2, Bullet Train, Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, and his most recent movie is The Fall Guy, which I absolutely love. Fall Guy is actually the most recent 4K purchase I've added to the collection. But today we're talking about Atomic Blonde. I've revisited this movie. This came out in the summer of 2017, I believe. It was made on a $30 million budget, which sounds like a low-budget feature these days, and it grossed an estimated $100 million against its $30 million budget, which I guess is considered a hit. I don't know if it's a big enough hit that we'll ever see a sequel. Plus, we are 8 years removed from it. I do not know if everyone involved still wants to participate. But the only thing I remembered from this movie back in 2017 when I saw it in the theaters was the stairwell fight scene that goes on for a really long time, and that's all I remember. So the purpose of this series is to go back and revisit movies that I've watched maybe once but have zero recollection of. And I don't know if that's my memory failing me, I don't know if it's ADD, but there are certain movies that I know I've seen but I can't remember anything. And when it comes to the bells and whistles and the details of this movie, I did not remember anything. So, my thoughts in 2025 about Atomic Blonde that came out roughly 7-8 years ago. It's very good. It's an R-rated movie that I believe John Wick had already come out a couple years prior, the first John Wick. This movie seems more violent than John Wick, the first one. The action scenes are really good, but a lot of it's steeped in a more realistic manner. Charlize Theron gets her butt kicked in this movie, to the point where she's swollen-faced, bloody, black and blue. It's a more realistic take on the action, and I like that. I don't need everything to be sort of comic booky type stuff. It's still far-fetched because they're getting up from these fights that are ridiculously brutal. But watching it in 4K was a good experience. It looked good. It still had a good film grain sort of look to it, But since it takes place in the 80s, right before the fall of the Berlin Wall, the soundtrack, I forgot, is insanely infused with 80s hits. Very good stuff there. And then there's scenes where they're in these like clubs and the lighting is like this blue and pink and sort of purple, and it really comes through on the Blu-ray or on the 4K. And again, it's not really a review of the 4K, but since I had this on, I was watching for those little details because I'm very eager to see the difference between 4K and a standard, and I guess I'd have to watch both to make that comparison. But I felt like the lighting in some of these club scenes were very good, and I really liked this movie. And it's one of those movies where if you were to say, oh, they should make James Bond a female, like you could take a movie like this and turn this character into a female James Bond. You don't have to disrupt the James Bond franchise to do that. You could have easily turned this into a series. I guess I wish it made more money, because I would have loved to have seen a trilogy in the realm of John Wick with this character, especially if it's going to take place through the 80s and the early 90s. I think you could get away with a lot more action-wise in terms of craziness if you set it in the 80s and 90s, which would have been awesome. But all in all, it's a very good movie. I forgot that Sofia Boutella is in this movie. She's really good, very sexy. They've got a very sexy love scene together I completely forgot about. And James McAvoy is an insane actor. Like, I think he is now what Russell Crowe was considered sort of a couple years ago, where he is so good at what he does that he is just overlooked in terms of his acting, because he is awesome. I mean, I'm not a James McAvoy devout fan, but he's in a lot of movies that I've seen, and he is awesome in them. Most notably, and this will come as no surprise, but Split, he is awesome in Split. He is awesome in this. There's just a sense of like realism, I guess, to his acting. I don't know, there's something like you feel like you know him, and he's just so believable. It seems almost effortless on his part, and I know it's a ton of work. It's not like this stuff's not as easy to do, and I'm just enthralled with his acting. And in fact, he had a movie come out not too long ago, a horror type movie. I never saw it. I might have to revisit that, or might have to visit that, because I've never seen it, and I just am enthralled with his acting. My quick review of this is it still holds up. I'm glad that I added it to my collection, even though I was basing it off of only remembering the stairway fight scene, which is awesome. It's a tremendous fight scene, but the movie as a whole, with this Cold War thriller and the wall coming down and sort of this espionage, you don't know what side she's on, being interrogated. The whole movie sort of unfolds from her being interrogated due to being in a situation early on in the movie, and you don't know if she's a spy for the United States, you don't know if she's a spy for all these other people, and really like it. So definitely a positive in the collection, and definitely something I will make a point to watch more often. It definitely could be up there with every year, sort of every other year revisit, especially as I dig more deep into Mr. Leitch's catalog. I didn't realize how many movies in this collection that I have of his, like I said, and so very good movie, very good way to start off this series. Atomic Blonde is the first movie in 10 movies in 10 days. Give it a thumbs up. Has aged beautifully. Wish it made more money to garner a sequel, but here we are. It will live forever in my collection as a great movie to watch. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. So if you've made it this far in the video, I thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to hit that like, please be sure to hit that subscribe, and please be sure to keep your eye out for more videos, as I am doing 10 movies in 10 days. So in theory, I should be uploading a movie review a day based on movies from my collection. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.